What is that looking like in real time? Let's discuss with the White House border czar, Tom Homan. Congratulations on beginning the actual work, and thank you for joining me as promised.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Tom, let's look at it two ways. One group looks at what you're doing and says, yeah, this is what ICE always does. His guys rounded up 370 people or so. During the Biden administration, they rounded up 300-something a day. This isn't really that different. How is it different?
Well, look, the arrests are a lot higher than were the Biden administration. And we're out there. We just started this nationwide operation. And right now, in the first couple of days, we're at over 3,000 criminals arrested. And that's a significant impact on public safety. The thing we're doing different from the Biden administration is we're not holding ICE to a lower standard. Under the Mayorkas memorandum, ICE wasn't able to arrest all the public safety threats in the country. You had, like you said earlier, they had to be convicted of a serious crime. There's nothing in the Immigration and Nationality Act that says you got to be convicted of a crime if you're here illegally to be removed. You can be removed simply for being illegally. So we've told ICE to concentrate out of the gate. As I told you in the last show, our focus is on arresting public safety threats and national security threats. That's exactly what we're doing now.
Let me ask you about that. The concern of the Democrats is you're going to round up dreamers, and you're going to round up people who have done penny ante offenses, who are otherwise contributing here, and that's too harsh.
Well, look, the number of collateral arrests are going to be higher during this operation for one reason, and one reason only, because we're not allowed to arrest the criminal alien inside of a jail in sanctuary cities like New York and Chicago and L.A. and Portland. And, the major the target-rich environments where a lot of illegal aliens domicile, they're not letting us in the county jail because of sanctuary laws. If we could arrest the bad guy in the safety and security of a jail, which is safer for the officers, safer for the aliens, safer for the community, then there'd be a lot less of the type, like you just said, low-level offenders. There'd be a lot less of them arrested. But when you force us in the community, we're going to find that guy sooner or later. It takes more time and it's less efficient than getting him in a county jail. But when we find him, he's most likely being with others. And if they're in the United States illegally, they're going to be arrested too, because we're not going to do what the Biden administration said. We're not going to say ICE can't, because the Biden administration, here's your instructions to ICE. Being in the country illegally on his own is not enough for you to effect an arrest. Ignore the law, ignore the oath you took. You need to have a serious crime. There's nothing in the law that says it, so they're going to force us in neighborhoods, and we're not going to tell ICE to turn a blind eye to an illegal alien. They're going to come too. So the sanctuary cities are going to get exactly what they don't want. More agents in the neighborhoods and more collateral arrests while we're doing this criminal operation.
Why can't the president, let alone the federal government, has such sweeping, if not complete, or as they say in the law, plenary authority when it comes to immigration? Why are states and municipalities able to keep federal agents out in so-called sanctuary cities?
Well, look, they'll be taking the court real soon. They've already been warned that federal law overrides any local jurisdiction law. So this is going to be played out in the courts because, they got to understand. I said, I don't know if I said it in your last show or not. I'm amazed every day when I wake up that there's an elected mayor or elected governor or elected city councilman that doesn't want public safety threats removed from their community. They should be working hand in hand with them. Like when I had my discussions with Mayor Adams in New York, he made it clear, he'll help me with the criminals, but he doesn't want to be an immigration officer. I don't want to be an immigration officer. I want to be a cop working with cops and help protect this community. When it comes to immigration enforcement and the non-criminals, leave that up to me. That's my job and that's ICE's job. But public servants, people elected by the people, politicians elected by the people, their number one responsibility is protection of the communities. So I just don't understand, why not let us in tax-funded jail to arrest the bad guy that you already decided to lock him in a jail cell for obvious reasons? Well, when you're done with him, give him to us, rather than release them back into the community, because where's he going to reoffend? In the very community he lives, the immigrant community. So it puts the immigrant community at greater risk of crime. And I swear to you, if anybody went to an immigrant community and had a town hall and asked them a simple question, would you rather have ICE operating in your community or the jail? They'd all say jail, because immigrant communities, even though they're here illegally, after they get here, they're God-fearing family people. They don't want a predator in their neighborhoods either. So let's work together and get the criminals in the safety and security of the jail. It makes sense.
Also, you know, we've talked about this before, and I know you're dealing with it now, going out, you've been inviting media. The problem's going to have two prongs, right? I don't count the cost one. Government spends so much money on so many things. I don't see that as being a real obstacle to entry on this operation. But the second one is going to be the courts, and that's not us. The lawyers will figure that out. I'll interview them. The third is going to be optics, that you're sweeping up the wrong people, the wrong way, breaking up families. I'm telling you, NewsNation will be there. You give me a call, Tom. I'll come. I'll watch any operation you want to help there be a public eye to balance any scrutiny with the truth of observation. I'm there. You ask, I'm there.
I just talked to your producer, and she sent me an email while we're waiting for the show to start. So I'll talk to the right people tomorrow, and we'll get you out there, Chris, because we got nothing to hide.
I mean, look.
And like I said, you look at the numbers.
I get it. I get it. You know why I want to do it. You saw what happened in New Jersey, right? Where one of the mayors says they're arresting citizens. They're arresting citizens. They're making mistakes. I don't know. I don't know because I'm not there. You know, if we don't have eyes on the ground. Did you hear of that allegation?
No, I have not.
So, you know, it's something obviously. So, you know, you suss it out on your own. I'm not stating it as a fact. I'm just telling you it's out there.
What I can tell you right now, Chris, is we arrested 1,300 people. Over 1,000 of them were criminals. Who are the other ones? They're either fugitives who've been through immigration court in order to remove but didn't leave and became a fugitive, or collaterals. Where did the collateral arrests happen? In sanctuary cities, because they forced us into the community. Look, I said from day one, no one's off the table. If the United States illegally, you got a problem. But we are concentrating on public safety threats first. And it just makes sense. I don't care if a Republican, a Democrat, Independent. Why not let law enforcement go into a county jail, a taxpayer county jail, to arrest a guy that you locked in a jail cell? So obviously he's a public safety threat. That would solve a lot of this problem. I hope the sanctuary cities come around. I really hope once they see what we're doing, and we'll invite you out. We'll be very transparent. Once they see that we really are concentrated on the criminals, that they'll come to us and sit at the table and work with us.
Tom Homan, I appreciate the job you're doing. And again, I'm checking on a regular basis with people who've worked with you, who are watching what you're doing now. Everybody says you're doing it for the right reasons, and we'll watch the process, and hopefully it's done the right way. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I'll see you soon.
I'll see you out in the field.